and talk to you about this early is because this affects everybody in the state of Arkansas that's on the school's health insurance and state employees, and this has to be done by November 1st. So doctor's offices are going to be filling up really fast, so you need to go and get these done. You can go to walk-in clinic, I don't care where you go, just go and get it done, okay? If you flip open your packet, 3 pages, this right here shows you what the health insurance premiums are going to be if you do not have your wellness benefit, and then the next page shows you what they're going to be if you do have the wellness benefit. Yes, ma'am.
Does that apply to everybody that's on our policy? So like my spouse needs to have
No, just employees. Good question. That's just employees. So even if your kids are going and getting their sports physicals or something like that, that does not apply. It has to be the employee that has the health insurance that goes and gets the physical. Are there any questions about that? Again, this is free. This does not cost you anything. Whenever you go or whenever you schedule your appointment, just tell them that you're needing to get a wellness visit done, a physical, and to file it under your wellness visit, under your wellness program through your health insurance. And what will happen is I have a list that they've given me, and I do apologize, I forgot to bring it this morning, but it tells me pretty much who all has not gotten it. I call it the Santa Claus no-no list. So it's a list of people that I know that has not had their physical yet. And so I will be contacting you within the next week to say, hey, I just want to let you know you're on the bad list. And so you will, if you don't have this done by November 1st, face a $75 penalty. Okay, but we're all going to get that done. So we're not going to have to worry about that huge increase. But it does have to be done. You have until October 31st. As of November 1st, you can't get it anymore. And for most people, you're probably going to qualify whether you realize it or not, because they've been very lenient on what they accepted, just getting blood work done and stuff like that. And they're going all the way back to January 1st of 2013. So most people are qualifying, but there is a list. I think there's about 6 people here that have not qualified, and I will reach out to you, and you're going to get that done. Okay? Okay, so yes?
So, and then going forward, this will be an automatic thing. If you get your annual physical every year, it'll just automatically.
Yes, ma'am. So there's no paperwork that you have to turn in. You know, like if you have the cancer insurance, to get a $75 check, you have to file a wellness claim. It's not like that. The health insurance will run a report, and they'll pull in all the wellness codes, and if your name is in there, then you're going to get the discount. But I just really want to stress that's $75 a month that you're going to be penalized if you don't get this physical done. It's not a one-time thing. It's $75 a month. That's a lot of money. Any other questions? Okay, so that's the wellness benefit. So is there anybody here that works less than 30 hours a week? No? Okay. Okay, so that part doesn't, anybody that will be watching that? Okay, so I'll go over that real quick then. The second page of your packet is a note to the employees that work less than 30 hours a week. Effective January 1, they will no longer be eligible for insurance through the school district, so they are being dropped from our plan.
I'm sorry, Rebecca.
If the employee works less than 30 hours a week, they're being dropped from our insurance, effective January 1. So this page shows that if your family income, down at the bottom, it has kind of a chart that shows if your family income is at this level, you would qualify for free health insurance. If you know someone at this school, I know no one in here necessarily does, but if you know someone that is going to fall in that, and it doesn't even have to be at this school, just somewhere in the district, have them give me a call, because I can get them set up with either someone at the local Blue Cross office or someone else, and help them get either free insurance or at a reduced rate to help them pay for it. Most times they end up with better coverage than what we have, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. The next thing is, some of you guys should have gotten letters in the mail about covering your spouse on your health insurance. Effective January 1, all spouses will be dropped from the plan if they are eligible for insurance through their employer. So, like myself, my husband's employer offers health insurance, but it's really, really bad insurance, so I cover him on my plan, which that tells you how bad it is, okay? So, effective January 1, I have to remove him. He's being dropped from my plan because even though it's not good insurance, he is offered insurance through his employer. So you should have gotten a letter in the mail with an affidavit, and you have to sign it and your spouse has to sign it, only if you currently cover them. And this affidavit is you self-verifying whether or not your spouse is employed and whether or not they are offered insurance through their employer. If they are, effective January 1, they will be dropped from your insurance. If they don't have insurance through their employer, then you can keep them on your plan. If your spouse is a teacher in the state, or if you're on your spouse's plan through the state or through another school, that's fine. You can stay on their plan. You still need to fill out the affidavit and sign it in, and just at the top right, spouse is a public school employee as well. This does not affect if you are on your spouse's plan at Tyson's or anything like that. This is just school's insurance, and this is a state law now. So I know, since it's self-verifying, it was really easy when I got the affidavit in the mail to go, they'll never know. They're never going to know. But if they do find out, you will be dropped, and your entire family will be dropped from the plan. You'll never be allowed to be on it again, and you will be charged with insurance fraud. So it's really not worth it to do that.
What if your spouse, in this case, my wife, is employed, she works for the university, she's only teaching the fall semester, so then she will not be employed after January.
So did you get that affidavit in the mail? Okay, so on that you would write just, yes, it's currently employed, and does she have insurance through you or through the university? Through you. And just write, effective January 1, she will no longer be employed. Okay. Yes, sir.
So let me get this straight. If your spouse works for, say, another school district,
Yes, sir.
and she's on your plan, she can stay there
Yes, sir.
because she's in the. Because then I don't have to pay them.
What you do is he's on a different plan.
I have a quick question. There was no line on the form for self-employed spouse. Do we just write that in?
Yeah, you could just write that in. Yes, ma'am. And for some reason, a lot of people got the letter but didn't get the affidavit. So if that is your case, then let me know. I do have copies of that. Or if you're sitting here and you're saying, my spouse is on my insurance and I didn't get one of those, let me know, because we need to check and make sure that we have your right mailing address, because that could be an issue. Okay. And those forms have to be turned in by November 1st at the latest. Okay, any questions about that? Yes, ma'am.
My husband works at the university. Is he considered a state employee?
Not
Like,
for this.
So like I won't be dropped from his plan?
No, ma'am. Okay, any other questions? Okay. All right, so there is, I think they did this just to mess with me, but currently we have 3 plans: the gold, silver, and the bronze. What you know as the gold plan right now, which is just strictly co-pays and co-insurance and no deductible, that is going away effective January 1st. What is now the silver plan, where it's kind of a mix of you have co-pays but you do have a deductible, will be the new gold plan. It is called the premium plan, and so you will have a $1,000 deductible if you are employee only. And if you look, it's this one right here. These are drafts of the schedule of benefits. So the way this plan will work is you still have your co-payments. So if you go to the doctor, it'll be $25. And so as long as whatever you do is done at that doctor's office, you will just pay that $25 copay. If you go to a specialist, and if he has to do blood work, as long as he tests that there, you'll just pay the $50 copay. If he has to send it off or you have to go somewhere else, that's where your deductible kicks in. Yes, ma'am.
Does co-payments go towards the deductible?
No, ma'am. So the co-payments do not go towards the deductible, but they do go towards your out-of-pocket maximum for your co-insurance. So once you've met your $1,000 deductible for employee only, or $2,000 for employee children, employee spouse, or family coverage, then you go into the co-insurance, and that's where you pay 20% and the plan pays 80%. And for employee only, it's you pay 20% for $2,500, and once you pay that $2,500 out of pocket, then everything except for prescriptions is covered 100%. So you would no longer have your co-pays for doctor's visits or anything like that. You will still have co-pays for prescriptions, and those have not changed. It's $15, $40, $80, or $100. And this year, they're starting something new, and it's an out-of-pocket max for what you would pay in prescriptions, and it's like $3,100 for employee only, and I think it's something outrageous that no person has ever met, so I'm not really sure why they did it, other than to say they're offering you another benefit, but it's $6,200 for family coverage. So,
That's not unreasonable. There are lots of $1,000 drugs.
but those don't count. This is your tiered drugs. So if you're paying $15, you're never going to get to $6,200. So yeah. So but if you do, then all your drugs will be paid for 100% after that, except for your expensive drugs that don't count.
Is the $2,500 out-of-pocket max or copay, you said, is that $2,500 out of pocket, or is that?
Yes, ma'am. So you're paying 20% until you've paid $2,500 out of pocket. So in reality, you've got, so your maximum out of pocket on the premium employee only plan is $3,500 because you've got $1,000 deductible, and then you pay 20% until you've paid $2,500 out of pocket. So you're at $3,500. And okay, on the employee spouse, employee children, or family coverage, this is a change. Used to it was the employee had to meet 1,000 of the $2,000 deductible, and then the other members could meet it together, or one person could meet the other 1,000. Now it's not like that. One person in your so if it's you and 5 children, you or one of your children has to meet 1,000 of it, and then the rest of you combined can meet the other 1,000, or you alone can meet that. But one person has to meet the 1,000. It's not just the employee anymore. So, but once that one person meets the 1,000, they'll move on to the paying 20%, whereas the rest of the family members will still be paying 100% until they reach that deductible. But again, if you're just going to the doctor for a sinus infection or something like that, you're just going to pay a $25 copay. Any questions on that? So that plan is going to be $179. If you've had your physical, it's going to be $179.38 for employee only. So just over $2,000 a year that you're going to pay just for the privilege of knowing if you have to go to the doctor, you're only going to have to pay $25 as long as it's done there in the doctor's office. Yes, ma'am.
Once you have your physical, is that premium going to go up or down? They can't change it for a year?
Once you've had it, you're set for the year.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, it's not a qualifying physical or anything like that.
Well, it has to be deemed as your wellness physical. So they have to have filed it as a wellness visit. So if you go in and you say, I'm here for a wellness visit, but while I'm here, I've got this awful cough, can you go ahead and test me for strep throat? Well, then it's no longer a wellness visit, and that will not count.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you're set for a year at that price.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if they discover you've got heart disease.
Doesn't matter.
Raise your premium for at least a year.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and even then, they can't raise your premium whenever the next year, as long as you have gone and gotten your physical, you'll still qualify. Yes, ma'am.
Does only the employee have to have the wellness?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so the second plan is the classic plan, and that is what is currently the bronze plan. So on this plan, it works exactly how the bronze plan works right now. It's just the premiums have gone up. So right now, if you're on the bronze plan, you're paying $11, and if you go and you've had your physical effective January 1, you will pay $45 a month. Okay. So the way this one works, it's a $2,000 deductible. There are no co-pays.
Silver, you're talking silver.
No.
Bronze is
Bronze.
basic.
No. Okay. So the current plan, the current bronze plan, so there's no more gold plan. The gold plan's gone away. The premium plan is what the silver plan is right now. Okay. So now the current bronze plan is the classic plan. And let me go back real quick. If you are currently on the gold plan or the silver plan, at open enrollment, if you do nothing, effective January 1, you'll be on the premium plan. Okay? So
On the bronze plan.
if you're on the bronze plan, you'll automatically be enrolled in the classic plan. And so you won't have to do anything at open enrollment. Yes, ma'am.
Can you only do the HSA with what's now the basic?
No, but on classic and basic. Okay, so the classic plan is what the current bronze plan is. You're just, so deductibles, out of pocket, everything stayed 100% the same. The only thing that changed is the rates. Okay, so you're paying $34 more for the employee only plan as long as you've had your physical. Did you have a question? No, okay. All right, so are there any questions? You want me to go over the classic plan or is,
Okay, one more thing, I'm sorry. If I'm on the bronze plan, I'm going up to $45.
yes, ma'am. As long as you've had your physical. If you haven't had your physical, you're gonna pay $120. Okay, yes.
On the classic plan, your medicine count towards your deductible?
Yes.
It's a family deductible?
Yeah, so,
One person meets it?
no, yeah, one person can meet it. It's not like on the premium plan. Anybody can meet combined, or one person can meet the $3,000 deductible.
Well, it says here 2,000, what is that?
Well, that's employee only. Family is a $3,000 deductible.
Okay, annual payment. So one person.
One person could meet that. Yes, ma'am.
Are all three of these through Health Advantage?
Oh, good question.
Well,
Good question. Yes, ma'am. Effective January 1, all plans will be now offered through Health Advantage, except if you're a retiree on Medicare, you're with QualChoice, but that doesn't affect us right now. So all plans effective January 1 will be offered through Health Advantage, which falls under the Blue Cross Blue Shield umbrella. So you're going to have more a greater network to work with.
Does the classic still make you eligible to do the health savings?
Yes. So you can do the health savings account on the classic and the basic. Okay, so does everybody have a good understanding of the classic plan, the current bronze plan? Are there any questions about that? Okay, so the next one is the basic, and I like to refer to it as the 10-cut plan because it is the current bronze rates. So $11 for employee only. However, it's a high deductible plan. So for employee only, you have a $4,250 deductible. Then you start paying 20% for $2,200. So your maximum out of pocket is $6,450, and after that, everything's covered 100%. If you're family, your deductible is $8,500, and then you start paying the 20% for $4,400. So your maximum out of pocket would be $12,900. So annual. So it's the rates of the current bronze plan, but it's a way high deductible.
With the one you're talking about,
The basic, yes, ma'am.
whatever it is, the $11 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
With the wellness exam, would that be paid for?
Yes, no matter what plan you're on, the wellness visits are covered 100%. Any questions about the basic plan? Yes.
Back to the classic and say the maximum out of pocket for that.
Sure. And what's interesting is the maximum out of pocket on the basic and the classic are exactly the same. It's just the deductibles are and the co-insurance are swapped. So the maximum out of pocket on the classic for employee only is $6,450, and the maximum out of pocket for the basic is $6,450. The deductible on the classic plan is $2,000, and on the basic plan it's $4,250. So you have to pay 100% for $4,250, and then your co-insurance kicks in. Oh, for family, I'm sorry. For family coverage, classic is a $3,000 deductible, and then you pay 20% for $6,675. So your maximum out of pocket is $9,675 a year.
There's not a prescription plan with the classic or the basic, right?
Correct.
Still deductible.
Correct. So you don't have a prescription plan, but you still have insurance. So if I go to the pharmacist and they say this is $500, then that's what I have to pay is $500. However, you do have insurance, and Health Advantage has a rate that they would never pay more than. So say it's $200, then you would pay 100% of $200 for that insurance until you've met your deductible, and then you pay 20%. I will tell you, there's a website called goodrx.com. And if you guys are currently on the gold plan, or you've never dealt with a deductible or something like that, you probably want to go and check that out. You just type in an area code, so 72701, and it'll give you like 10 pharmacies in the Fayetteville area, and say you're looking for a Z-Pack. And you type that in, and it'll tell you out of these 10 pharmacies what the cash price that they're charging for that prescription is. So that'll give you a good idea. You know you're not going to pay more than the cash price, so that's kind of your worst case scenario. And generally it's less than that, but there's also coupons out there on that you can use as to help lower the cost of that. I will tell you, if this is your first time, if you decide to go to the classic or the basic plan, it takes some getting used to. You're only paying $11 or $45 a month versus $180 a month. So you've got to be wise with that. You have to save money. That first time that you go in to get a prescription and you have to pay $100 or $150, it's kind of a shock, or that first doctor's appointment. Tell you, every month I go through this with my husband. He has a blood pressure medicine, and it's $197. So every month, this is what we go through. Your insurance is ridiculous. This is crazy. It's $197. I'm just going to quit taking it because that's a better option, So every month I have to go, okay, but we're not paying $1,200 for our insurance a month, and we've got our money on our HSA. It's going to be okay, and eventually we'll meet our deductible, and then we'll only pay 20% of that, and then he's better until the next month. But so that's just something that you have to get used to. Now, I will tell you, effective January 1, the state has passed a law that if you are in the basic or the classic plan, you must participate in an HSA plan, which is fabulous. I think everybody should be doing that anyway. But so you don't have to do it every month. I hope you do, but you have to at least do 1 month at $35. Okay? I hope that you don't stop doing that, because inevitably you've been on it for 3 months and you call me because you broke your leg and they want all this money and you don't have anything. It's happened more than once, and I go, there's nothing I can do, I'm sorry. So please participate actively in a health savings account. Yes, ma'am.
Are the HSA amounts, the maximums the same?
They will be going up. Right now, I think it's $3,250 for employee only, and I believe that's going up to $3,300 effective January 1.
What about
That's the maximum that you can put into an HSA for employee only. Yes, ma'am.
What about that other account that,
Okay, so that's good. I'm glad you brought that up. So there is also a flexible spending account, and with the flexible spending account, that's kind of like the old school. It's $2,500, and used to you had to say you had to lock it in and say I want to do $1,200 for the next year, and we'd take $100 out of your paycheck a month for the next 12 months. You would have that. But if you didn't use it at the end of the year, you lost it. Now you can roll over $500. So if you are